Hello and good morning, everyone. I know this is kind of early. It's still 7:15 right now, but I decided to go live anyway. And I will see who is going to join me on this in just a moment as I get myself ready for this very important and very interesting topic. You see the title there? We are going to be talking about Black women that are buying land and farming. Yes, this is a thing, y'all. This is actually a thing, and I am happy to be able to speak on this today. Give me just one moment here. Again, this is a very interesting topic. The other day, we actually talked about Black women who are going into van life. Black women who are going or choosing van life. But in this video, we're going in a whole other direction, which is still awesome, a very awesome topic to speak on. So give me just one moment here. I am just about ready to continue on. This is exciting to me, and I'm sure some of you have seen these stories as well, where Black women are making leaps and bounds in some directions that, a lot of people would be doubtful that they could even do. But no, these women they're like, you know what, I am going to do this. This is something that I love. One thing I love to do is scroll through YouTube and stumble upon channels that just blow your mind. Women here in the U.S., in the Caribbean, in Africa, all over, we are seeing Black women who are getting into farming. They're buying land and getting into farming. There was a very interesting story that I shared last year sometime. It was a sister in Detroit who, I forget the name of her farm, but her dad had bought a parcel of land in the city of Detroit. And he only paid $100 for that parcel of land. And boy, I tell you, this woman really did a thing on that parcel of land. It was just a basic city lot, but if I remember correctly, it was a corner lot. So she was on two streets. Okay, a corner lot. She beautified that corner lot, and it looked like a little miniature paradise right there in the middle of the city of Detroit. Initial investment being $100 by her father. Good morning to everyone that is joining. I know I jumped right into it, didn't I? Good morning, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Believe it or not, it is a little nippy outside. I like to get going as early as possible, but it is nippy. So this weather has been very strange, y'all. We are just a few days away from May, but we have this really chilly weather. We had some last week as well. I'm not complaining though, because it's going to warm up. It will be warming up later on today, but that early morning work, got to let it warm up just a tad bit more. But I know that we are going to be coming around to that soon. Coming around to where you get up in the morning, it's already warm out, but that's just a foreshadow of what the day is going to be like too. So I'm very grateful and thankful for how things are now. As I always say, any day that you get up, just be thankful that you're alive. Regardless to what the weather is, we are alive. Todaya for that. So I am so glad to see so many of you tuning in this morning. I'm going to get right into it. We are talking about Black women that are buying land and farming. And guess what? It doesn't have to be a whole lot of land. It doesn't have to be a ton of land. A lot of people think that you have to go out and buy 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 acres. Nope, you don't have to do that. Although some sisters are doing that as well. You don't have to do that. You can start off with a basic urban farm and then go from there. There's another sister in Detroit. Well, actually, she's in Hamtramck, okay? Well, no, it was Highland Park. Anyone who knows about Detroit, Highland Park and Hamtramck, like they kind of sit like right in the middle of Detroit. They're like a city within a city, if you know what I mean. So I really don't see them as separate, but they are cities within the city. So I believe hers is in Highland Park, but she kind of took over a whole block, and she turned that whole block into her urban village slash farm, where she is doing a whole lot of things. She had a couple of tragedies, two of her sons, and it was awful. Her young son was killed years ago, and then her older son, who was like her sidekick, who was her partner in this farming thing, her protector, someone shot him and killed him. And that was a very tragic thing to find out, because they worked hand in hand working that farm, and to have something like that happen, that was awful. But this sister, yet and still, she keeps going forward, moving forward with her vision, not just to grow food for the community, but to provide school and homework help and just so many other things. And she's teaching others the skills that she learned. And she still has that same drive and passion, even with the tragedies that she experienced. Shalom to everyone who has joined us. Yes, thank you, Ms. Rael 61. It is called Avalon Village. Sister Shu, that is correct. Thank you for dropping that in there. Pardon that noise. That's my mic. I had to move it forward a bit. Yes, her name is Sister Shu, and it is called Avalon Village. And I absolutely love what that sister did. I mean, she did this in an area that a lot of people wouldn't dare do something like this. I remember going through Highland Park many times when we lived in Michigan, and we actually had some real estate property not far from Highland Park. And so she chose an area that definitely needed a vision, and she made it come to pass. She brought it into fruition. And so that was wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so if you just simply type in Black woman farmers into Google, you are going to see some amazing stories. All you have to do is type in Black woman farmers. And so you're going to meet just various women who are doing things, urban farming. There are different titles. I'm looking at one, Jamila Norman. She is featured on Modern Farmer. And then there's a story of 5 Black female farmers who are feeding rural communities. Okay. And then there's one that says the coming age of Black women farmers. You see, this is a thing, y'all. Of course, there are the stories that talks about farming while Black. And you know what those stories are usually telling you about, the troubles and the woes that many of us may face when doing anything while Black. But that doesn't stop. Stop those who are really go-getters, who are just going to make it happen regardless to what they face, right? And so here's another one. It is talking about it says Black women are aiming to change the landscape of agriculture. You see, so this is awesome. It says this particular article is on Woman Advance. NC.org. It says 3 words aren't something you see together very often. Nationwide, women make up approximately 36% of farmers. Although there isn't data readily available, the percentage of Black female farmers is less than 1%. So to see Black female farmer together, that is very interesting, right? While that number is low, a noticeable shift has begun taking place. Across the country, Black women are tapping into their natural being as providers and entering a space that has long been dominated by white men. And then it goes on to say, get ready, a change is coming. Wow. That in and of itself, that's just a snippet, but it is inspiring to see that a lot of Black women are jumping into a space that is normally dominated by white males. Now, right now, we know that those who dominate the farming industry, for the most part, are big corporations now. That being said, we know that Bill Gates has bought up a lot of land here in America. He is the largest landowner, having acquired a great percentage of the land. And of course, there is something behind that, but that doesn't stop the small farmers who see that we have to keep that demographic going as well. You see, to see that Black women are jumping into this more and more, that is definitely something that is well pleasing to the ears. And I say, sisters, forge ahead in this. I don't care how small you start off. Don't let size determine anything. If you can get your hands on a half an acre, go for it. Because again, the one sister in Detroit, she just had a city lot, and she, oh my goodness, she put that green thumb to work. And that small city lot that she had, or that she has, she made it look beautiful. She didn't just plant food. She also planted flowers and things to make it look like a beautiful garden. She made a really beautiful entrance into the garden. You go on YouTube and you're going to see more and more Black female farmers as well, or gardeners, that are doing their thing. They are planting flowers, planting food. Some are even getting into livestock, but that's a whole other issue. Even if you don't want to get into livestock, that is fine as well, because a lot of people are getting away from meat. Okay. But that produce, to actually grow something and eat something that you know what went into it, you know the kind of love and the care that went into it, that is a reward. It is a reward to go out there and you say, you know what, I need some fresh basil. Here it is. I need some fresh dill for my salad. Let me pick it. I need some cucumbers for my cucumber lemonade. Yes, we make cucumber lemonade every year. So delicious and refreshing and healthy. But to be able to go out there in your own garden and get those cucumbers to make that cucumber lemonade is awesome. I'm going to tell y'all this. I have never made cucumber lemonade from store-bought cucumbers. For some reason, I just haven't been able to work up the courage to do that. Okay. And guess what? You can also freeze your cucumbers if you want to have some for the winter months as well. You can freeze those and thaw them out and make cucumber lemonade for winter months as well. Shalom to all of my brothers and sisters that are entering into the chat. Thank you for joining us this early morning. I know it's early, but I just felt the need before I get out to do this. I wanted to do it yesterday, but it was getting kind of late in the evening. So I said, I'm going to save this for tomorrow morning, right? I was actually going to wait till after 8 a.m. this morning, but I decided that, 7-ish was okay too, because we are all on different time zones. So it's really not going to matter. Those of you who don't pick it up on the live can watch it later. And another motivating thing was the fact that it's a little chilly outside. So I got this little bit of time to spend here, speaking and communing with you all. And then, sharing some very, very interesting and encouraging information about Black female farmers, right? So aiming to change the demographic is a great thing. It's a great thing. Female farmers in East Bay are cultivating a sense of community. Okay. They are getting out there and they are doing this thing, right? You can literally turn this whole thing into not just a lifestyle, but a way of earning as well. A lot of people are tapping into that. And guess what? Another thing we're starting to see too are young women, very, very young women who are getting into farming. I've seen it on the continent. I've seen it here in America. Here's one that's called Finnegan's Farm. It says, a farm that's inspiring Black women to continue their revolutionary legacy of food and justice. Okay. Some others as well. Another story on farming while Black. There's a story here in the New York Times. Mother Nature's Daughter. Okay, that is interesting, and it looks like they are highlighting young Black females again. Yes, young Black females who are in a more populated area who are doing their thing in gardening. Wow, this is incredible. If you want to get your children into something, get them involved in their future. This is what it's all about, y'all. Get them involved in their future. Being able to provide food for your family, that is a great and awesome thing. Food security is something that we should all seek, and that is something that we like to train others on and encourage others towards. Food security. As many have mentioned before, you could teach a man to fish, or you can just give him a fish and feed him for one day. I think I got a little backwards. It's like you can feed a man, give him a fish and just feed him, or you can teach him to fish and so he will be fed for life. Okay. That concept goes into food security as well. Okay. It's wonderful. It is wonderful to be able to share food, share what you grow with others. But it's also wonderful to show others how to grow their own food. Now, Jeffrey Yehuda says they just started a container garden and they're proud of it. Yes, awesome. Listen, y'all, you can grow so much in containers. It is amazing. He says, even if you don't have land, go for it. Exactly. A container garden is simply having something that can hold the proper nutrient-rich soil that you can put some seeds in and get a decent amount of light or sunlight to go on that, taking care of it, nurturing it. You can grow lettuce in containers, greens in containers, cucumbers in containers, tomatoes in containers. You can do it. Okay, QB42477, they say that they live in Indianapolis, Indiana, and they started their garden indoors in March and will be ready to transplant outside at the end of May. And things are growing fast too. Absolutely. We started pretty early too with our seedlings in the greenhouse. So yeah, it's just so many different things that you can do to get your garden started. Pardon this noisy chair, y'all. I have to move around a bit, and this chair is very squeaky and noisy. But anyway, I wanted to come on here and chat with you all about this and give you all some encouragement that it doesn't matter your age. I've even seen children. There was a feature story I did some time ago where there was a little girl, 6 years old, started the garden in her parents' backyard. Okay, Jay Abia says, Sister Deborah, what type of sugar do you use in that lemonade recipe? Well, we don't use sugar in the cucumber lemonade recipe. It is a very simple recipe, and all we do is we use we juice the cucumbers, get all the juice off of them. Okay, you don't have to take the skin off, because when you're juicing, you're going to sift all of the liquid out anyway. It's not going to go into the lemonade. You're just going to get the juice. And you can either use fresh lemons or you can use lemon juice. And what we do is we warm up a little bit of honey on the stove, because it's hard to mix honey with things that are too cold. Warm it up and mix it in with some of the lemon juice, and you mix that in with the cucumber juice, and then you chill it. Okay, or if you're ready to drink it right away, just pour it over some ice. You don't have to get it super hot. You're just trying to get your honey melted into the mixture, because it's very difficult to mix honey that's cold. Okay, so that being said, that's a very simple recipe. Sometimes we add, you can add mint tea to it. You can add a little ginkgo tea to it, whatever you want. But it's a delicious recipe for the summer. And as long as you keep those cucumbers growing by planting them in succession, you will have cucumbers all season long. Okay. And if you are unable to get fresh lemons, get yourself a whole bunch of stock of lemon juice in a bottle and use that. And you got yourself some some cucumber lemonade. You can also use the same thing with just tea. If you don't have access to lemonade, or should I say lemons or lemon juice, you can mix the cucumbers with tea as well. And it's still going to be a refreshing drink when you add your honey to it. Okay. Paulette Phillips said they started their garden in March in flower pots. Yes. You can start it in flower pots. That is great. Someone says that they have friends that are allowing her to use their land. That is a blessing. See, that's what I was saying. I've been saying for years that if you don't have land yourself and you know someone who does, just go ask. All they can say is no or yes, you see. So just go ask. Hey, we'll share the food. Whatever I grow, you can have some too, you know. Cynthia Ya says they're traveling in a fifth wheel trailer right now. Started an herb garden in a arrow garden. So you can do, even indoors, you can do something, right? There are countertop gardens you can do, growing yourself some little seedlings and little lettuces in the countertop gardens. As long as you have good access to sunlight, or even artificial lighting, there are things that you can grow. There is something that can be done. But I'm glad that the one sister shared the fact that she has friends that are allowing her to use their land. I love that. That is what I'm talking about. People coming together, working together if you can. If you live near someone, even if there's a church in your community that you know of and you believe that they're open to it, even if you're not sure about it, all you can do is ask. Say, look, you got this little parcel of land here. What do you think about doing this, that, and the third? What about us growing some food on it, you know? Raytown Stiff says that their garden is doing great as well. That is great to hear that so many are getting out here, taking that leap of faith. I call it a leap of faith because we had gotten so used to going to grocery stores. You know, they make things so easy and so simple to just go grab off the shelf that a lot of people have gotten away from this. So to see that more and more people are saying, look, I want to put my hands in the soil now. I want to grow my own vegetables. To see that people are doing this is great. Phyllis Bush says, good morning from Arizona. Too hot to plant outdoors. I grow in my hydroponic garden year round. Lettuces, cucumbers, tomatoes, peppers, strawberries, and more. That is incredible. I'm loving these testimonies. I'm loving this because that means some people are paying attention and waking up to the fact that this is what we must do. I see this as something very essential. I don't see it as an option. I see it as something that we need to do. Phyllis Bush also says they're growing their own figs and fruit trees outdoors. Absolutely. Those figs, they grow, the size seems like it just quadruples in a year or two. I remember when we first planted ours. Now they're starting to get really, really big. The place where we put them, I don't know what we're going to do. We might have to see if we can relocate those. Can't do it this year. Probably, if we do it this year, it'll have to be in the fall when they go dormant. But they're getting so big for the spot that they're in. So my daughter Sophia and I, we were actually talking about the figs not long ago about, moving them to another location because they are growing out of that space. So, of course, I could trim them back too. I could do that, but I would rather that they grow to their full potential because I've seen some that get really, really big. Okay. Alrighty. What's the easiest vegetables grow for beginners? So, okay, Tai asks, what is the easiest veggies to grow for a beginner? Okay. Just keeping it real, I'm going to say that herbs and lettuces and things of that nature, microgreens, those I would say would be the easiest to grow. Cucumbers are easy to grow. Tomatoes are easy to grow as long as you have the space and the sunlight for those. Those are definitely easy to grow as well. Of course, there are many other things. Yes, okra. QB says okra is easy peasy as well. Yeah, you literally just put that seed in there and you're going to get a whole bunch. And I love the way okra looks. It looks very ornamental to me. I think it's a very pretty plant when the flowers come on. But with okra, you got to make sure you pick them early enough because they'll get when they get too big, they get like you can't eat them when they get too big. You have to save them for seed once they get too big. But yes, okra is very beautiful and very delicious. We just eat ours raw right off the branch. They are so tasty. Of course, you can cook them if you want to, but Watchman and I, we will definitely just eat them raw because they taste great. Yes, Mizrael 61 says okra flowers are beautiful. Yes, they are. They are very pretty plant. So some things that you grow in your garden can have that ornamental look as well. Even though you're growing it for food, you'll look up and you'll say, wow, that is pretty. That is definitely pretty. Now, Virgil asks, how can you keep critters from eating your vegetables? Well, it depends on what critters you're talking about and what area, because if you are in an area where there's a lot of rabbits, you can put little short fencing around your areas. Sometimes raised beds help as well when it comes to rabbits. I haven't seen any rabbits that kind of like climb up on any of our raised beds. They will try to get access to what's on the ground. But if you have something, even if you do have rabbits that may climb up into your raised beds, you can still put a little, maybe a little 2-foot fencing around it. For Cynthia, she says she's never tried raw okra. Well, if you grow it yourself, it's going to be a treat. Okay. I've never eaten okra raw that's been purchased from a store. Just like I've never made the cucumber lemonade with store-bought cucumbers. I'm telling you, raw okra from your garden is incredible. It is a special treat, a very special treat. Okay. Yes, I love Saraya Israel says pickled okra is delicious. Yes, it is. I love pickled, what is that? Cauliflower as well. Free Spirit says they're planning on relocating to another area in their state so I can be near more country land. I'm just trying to grow on my patio. That's just not enough for me. Understood. You do what you can until you're able to get more space. But then when you're able to get more space, it's definitely great to expand. Someone says ants ate up their tomatoes. Yeah, when your food gets taken out by animals, oh my goodness, it is discouraging. It is definitely discouraging. We've had times where like some of either our watermelons or kashaw squash, where some animals would get a hold of it and you'd be like, man, that one was so big and they had to munch down into that. So you have to definitely take a look and make sure that things aren't happening. When you walk away a day or two and you don't check on your stuff, those animals will check on it for you. They will check on it for you. The Aliyah 7 says that they just bought 9 acres by the leading of the Most High Yah. Hallelujah. That is wonderful news to hear. To the Aliyah 7, that is wonderful news to hear. Happy planting, family. These are some great testimonies that we are seeing. Great testimonies. And yeah, again, I wanted to do this. It's approaching that time where I'm going to have to go check on things to see what it's feeling like out there, because I'm anxious to get out there today. There are some things we had planned to do. We did a lot yesterday. We had, oh my goodness, a great time yesterday doing a lot of things. Did a lot of work in the herb garden, getting a lot of things planted there, getting things situated, cleared out, rearranged, you name it, we were doing it. So, okay, QB says get some Job's all-purpose fertilizer or Dr. Earth's fertilizer. Mix a little in with your dirt and potty mix. Okay, Sisteria says, why isn't cow manure enough fertilizer for planting anymore? Is what my dad used and we had big crops. Now they're adding chemicals to fertilizer. Why? Well, they are trying to get away from natural things. It seems like there's a takeover of just chemically processed things or chemically made things so that these big corporations can, get more and more rich and just get more and more out of your pocket, you know. I want to address what Jeffrey said in just a moment, but I want to finish speaking on what Sarah said. But the best thing you could do for yourself is make your own compost with your kitchen scraps. If you have chickens, make sure you allow that to compost over time. You can't use chicken manure right away. Mix it in with the soil. Let it sit for 6 months to a year before you use any chicken manure. If you have any other livestock, you can use that as well. Compost that with your leaf mulch. You can use a leaf mulch. All of those things together will create some awesome compost. Even your garden scraps. Some people actually grow certain crops like legumes just so that they can compost those down into their garden if they don't eat them themselves. Some people don't eat beans, but they will grow them just so that they can have something to put into their compost. And so there are a number of different things that you can do naturally to have your own fertilizer. Now, Jeffrey said that he hears that once you eat something you've grown yourself, you will never want to buy it again. That's absolutely true. And see, the thing is, in the wintertime, it presents more of a challenge to have certain things. So you'll find yourself getting some organic lettuce or some organic cucumbers or whatever, but it's still, I'm sorry, anything that you buy from the store, even if it's organic, it just don't taste the same. It just don't taste the same. Anything that you can grow on your own, it always tastes better. Whenever we grow corn, I know not everyone eats corn, but whenever, oh my goodness, it's like a celebration when it is time to partake of the first fruits. Yes. Also really, really tasty. It's just buying food is something that you have to do if you have to, but if you can grow it yourself, that is much better. I want to encourage people as much as possible. Do what you can. Talk to whoever you talk to, a cousin, a nephew, an aunt, an uncle, sister, brother, mother, father. Talk to anybody and say, hey, let's do this. Let's do this. If we understood how important this was, we would definitely go for it. It's really sad to know that these major companies are buying up all the land. They are taking over the real estate market, the land industry. Like I said in a previous video, our other ministry land that we literally just purchased at the end of last year, already we had an out-of-state company make us an offer to buy that land. I said, something is going on. They want to own it all. And of course, we didn't respond. We didn't respond at all because it's just not something that's a good idea at this time. To see that they are trying to buy up all this land like that is very, very interesting. Very interesting. For those of you who have an interest in buying land, you want to look at Facebook Marketplace. There are deals that are posted there. Look in your area. Look for owner finance opportunities. Do your due diligence on any area. But there are owner financing opportunities out there where they will take, in some cases, they'll take $1,000 down, $2,000 down, and you just pay monthly for a period of time. For those of you who are looking to own a little bit more land, okay, that is an option. But even with that, you don't have to have a big parcel of land. You can do this on a city lot. You can definitely do something like this on the city lot. And as Kimberly Dooley says, yes, they are controlling the housing market. They're controlling food and everything. They are trying to control everything. And with that being said, that in mind, hold on to whatever you have. If you don't have to sell, don't. If you don't have to sell, don't. Anyway, family, I got to go ahead and scoot on out of here. Get my day started. I am very grateful to all of you who have joined and tuned in. I love you all, and I want you to enjoy the rest of your day. Happy planting to those of you who are going to be out in the garden. Happy planting. With that, I am out. Be sure to ring the bell to be notified of new uploads on this channel, and also comment, share, like, and subscribe.